Hello everybody, welcome back to the Folkestone Invicta Youth Academy Challenge on Football Manager 24, and we have stayed up by the skin of our teeth. It was a very, very tense end to the season. We've actually stayed up points-wise, okay. Performance-wise, pretty terrible. Let's dive into it and have a look. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the save. Fellow managers, we finished 16th in the table, and I don't know what's more surprising. One, we actually stayed up in the division. Two, the three promoted teams all stayed up. Port Vale in 15th, us in 16th, and Reading in 17th. Or the fact that Liverpool won the title on the last day of the season. It was absolutely incredible at this season end. There was all sorts of things to play for. European places, league titles and relegation. And it all came down to the final day of the season. Looking at the top of the table, Liverpool won it from Man City, who were, by 1 point. Liverpool won it by 1 point over Man City, who finished second by 1 point over Arsenal. Chelsea secured 4th. Southampton secured 5th, which is just bizarre. Newcastle got 6th on the last day by picking up a win. Man United won, but it wasn't enough. They were 1 point away from Europe. Tottenham lost on the final day of the season. Still Spursy in this universe. And they were 3 points off Europe. Could have got European football because a win would have put them on 68 points and would have given them a better goal difference than Newcastle, but they didn't do it. Then West Ham, Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest, Leicester and Norwich all finished sort of mid-table, and then getting towards the back end was, I guess actually you can class Aston Villa in that mid-table lot as well. And then you've got Port Vale on 35, Folkestone Invicta on 34, Reading on 31 and Brighton on 29. Reading securing survival on the last day of the season, thanks to Brighton not winning, which was quite impressive. Fulham and Brentford also joined Brighton going down to the Championship. It was just an absolutely shit end to the season. There's no other way to describe it. I was trying to think of a polite way to say it, but we were chundering along lovely in sort of mid-table, and then it's just gone to shit. Like, after, I don't know if the team strengthened in January, the other Premier League team strengthened in January, and that's what's cost us because we can't do that. But we have survived. We are holding on, and we will be getting a bucket ton of money that we can invest into facilities and things like that. So we can have a look at our season review and just go through all of this good stuff like normal. Obviously, there's no new signings. We don't need to see who got signing of the year. We've gone through the league table, but you can see as we come through here, West Ham was our last game of the season, 1-1. We lost 4-0 to Newcastle, 3-0 to Norwich. We beat Brighton 1-0, which was a crucial win. Lost to, European team fighting Southampton 5-1 and drew with Nottingham Forest 3-3 as well. It was a diabolical end to the season, picking up 2 wins out of however many games that is. That is just absolutely shite. But we held on. We have struggled this season, and we'll touch on that in a minute because I think we're going to have to change tactically what's going on. We're not good enough to be as attacking as I want to be this season, so I think we are going to mix it up going into next season. We got knocked out in the 4th round by Cardiff City, and it wasn't very good, the FA Cup. We didn't prioritise it at all. In the Carabao Cup, we got knocked down by Plymouth. Again, it was on penalties. I'm not too fussed that we didn't actually do well in that. I think getting knocked out of those competitions allowed us to focus on the league, which I think was pretty crucial. If we'd had more than 1 game a week getting towards the back end of the season, I think we would have been in a lot of trouble. Our biggest win was actually 5-2, so we did have some good moments. Kuedu, Joseph getting 2 and Berwick getting 2 when we beat Brentford. We beat Middlesbrough 3-2 with a goal in the last sort of 10 to 12 minutes from Balberia, which was nice, and the goal of the season actually came in a home loss to Man United, where we were 2-1 up going into the 91st minute and somehow lost the game, which was great. Finances wise though, let's be honest, at this point of the save, this is what matters. Okay, so sponsorship's gone up, broadcast revenue has gone up by £87 million, corporate and hospitality has gone up, competition prize money's gone up by £9 million, and matchday commercials actually dropped, but I don't believe that, to be honest, at the moment. No new sponsorships announced, but best selling shirts then. Englefield, Carson, Kuedu, Berwick and Barnes up there. Lovely stuff. We lined up in the season in a 4-2-3-1, which I think we're going to as I've sort of alluded to, adapt next year. I did like the fact that you guys and girls and everyone that watches in the comment section, most of you were like, you've got to promote Anthony Haynes last year. We did it for the second half of the season, got promoted, and he got our best average rating of our most common starting 11, which I think was quite good, to be honest. But you can see, even from the average ratings in this 11, how less of an impact our better players have in the Premier League. So Carson and Balberia, two of our best players in the Championship, 6.52 and a 6.58. Englefield and Kouedu still doing okay, 6.8, 6.9. But yeah, we are struggling to get the goals from out wide or get the ball where we want it to be. And as Haynes gets a 7, we are relying on our goalkeeper a hell of a lot to keep us in games, which really isn't too bad. And because of that, he wins the Fans Player of the Season and the Young Player of the Season. Kadu Kouedu got Goal of the Season. Massimo Englefield with 14 goals in all competitions, which is pretty rubbish. Got Top Goal Scorer Award. Ryan Carson got 5 assists throughout the year. Massimo Englefield got Most Player of the Matches. Anthony Haynes got the highest average rating. And Craig Jones was the best pass completion. Kadu Kouedu picked up the Sky Bet Championship Player of the Season last year, and he also picked up the Young Player of the Year as well. And he won. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he won European Golden Boy. I don't know how I forgot to mention that before, but we will quickly just show you that if we go milestones. Yes, he picked up the 2042, which is last year. Yeah, the last year's European Golden Boy, which was absolutely mental. So Kadu Kouedu clearly is a very, very good player, but you can see the difference. In the Championship, he had 30 appearances, 15 goals and 9 assists and a 7.2. And this year, it's not quite been as good. And that is the struggle of stepping up from the Championship to the Premier League. And we received our highest ever transfer fee when we sold Ty Bodkin to Wrexham for 300k. And he's still there. He's not doing much, but he is still there. So hopefully he gets some game time in that. But yeah, we stayed up. That's all we need to worry about in this one. What's the point? Folkestone sunk to new lowers. They're 34 points in the Premier League, set an unwanted new club record. But it's also our best ever season. John Perry Joseph made the next gen list as well, which was pretty nice. I don't know if we can have a look at... Yeah, it only shows the top 3, right? He didn't make the top 3, but he did make the next gen list, which was pretty nice as well. Awards voting? No. Award winners. I wanted to see if you could see everybody that was on it, but we'll keep an eye on him for next time. These are the sort of things that I should note down and I don't note down and I forget. So, but the supporters, if you're interested in this sort of thing that I'm definitely not, then there you go. That's our supporters profile. The club want us to develop players using the club youth system, play attacking football, play entertaining football, play high tempo pressing football, possession football, and try and make the most of set pieces. So they're asking for quite a lot, aren't they? Squad dynamics, we've got Englefield, Berwick and Carson as the team leaders at the moment. Cross, Shuaibu, Murray, Lucas Hole, Balberia, Ben Rees, Kouedu, Gardner and Collins as the influentials. Craig Jones, Haynes and Wayborn, are the team leaders, or like seeing out the team leaders as influential players. The club atmosphere has improved back to good, and the players love me, which is understandable. I'm a very lovable chap. But yes, we will come and say to everybody that I have nothing else to say so that we don't piss them off. That's fine. The new season report. We did end the season trying out a 4-2-4 and setting up a 4-2-4 just to see how it sort of fit with our system. And you'll see what we're looking at. Oh, we can go. Under the current plans, the camp would be held in Guangdong Shen in China. Yeah, I don't mind going to China. I think you get a little bit more money from going to Asia. We could go to Singapore, but I go to Singapore every year in every save I ever do. So let's go to China and see what we can do there. But yeah, the season as a whole wasn't bad. If we get rid of, because it's a bit inflated when you have, and the reason why all the loan players are in here, the Power BI is coming back for the start of the next season. Don't you worry. It is still going on. I am still using it. And I do realise that one of the sort of differences of this save was the Power BI at the beginning. So I do want to bring that back in and utilise that a little bit more. But if we get rid of the not at club players in here, so anyone that's out on loan, you can see our issue was scoring goals. 14 in 41 for our best goal scorer wasn't great. 7 in 36, 6 in 14, 6 in 22, 6 in 37, 4 in 30, 3 in 32, and then a few people on 1. We struggled to get the ball in the back of the net, which is understandable given the step up in quality, and it is our first season in the Premier League, but we have just not been a attacking force as I want. And that's understandable. But our big issue in the Premier League this year is if we go and have a look at the, not fixtures and results, that's definitely not what I want, into the stages here. One, I absolutely hate this page. Look at all this blank stuff in the middle. It's absolutely rubbish. It's just awfully laid out by Football Manager. But anyway, if we go and have a look at goals against, we are second to Brentford. Brentford got relegated this year with 22 points. They conceded 93 goals. We conceded 87 goals. We had a minus 40 goal difference. Yes, we're not scoring a lot. But if you actually look at how many goals we do score, we're comfortably in mid-table at 47. There are plenty of teams below us scoring less goals. That's not our main concern. Although our goal scoring isn't great, our main concern is conceding goals. 87 goals conceded, 10 of them to Man City. If you look down that list though, we're conceding 5 goals to Norwich, 5 goals to Leicester, 5 goals to Middlesbrough. These are teams we shouldn't be conceding that many goals against, and that is where I want to look to improve next year. Tweaking the tactics, tweaking the roles, tweaking the system to try and make us a bit more defensively solid. Now, I've fallen in to I've fallen into the Football Manager way of playing when things start to go wrong, like they did for us again. If we just go back to the graph, when things started to go wrong around the 24-25 game mark here, and we had this little peak, so I thought, we've solved it. That was our 2-0 win over Aston Villa. What I had done is change our system to be ultra offensive and attacking. We played with the 4-2-3-1. It was either this one or this one that I was flicking between. But what this is doing, as you can see in the Football Manager ways, we had underlaps, we had focusing down the right, we had players running forward. Underlap encourages people to push forward, and you can see it on transition. We were counter pressing and countering, and then we were playing really high lines and stepping up, and that was fine in the Championship when we were there. It was fine when we were getting better in League One and we went to this system. It was fine when we went to League Two and stepped away from the 4-2-4 and played this sort of system, because we were developing players that were better than the majority in the league when we got to the second half of seasons and when we got into the second seasons in those divisions and things like that. But at this point in the Premier League, we are so far and away the worst team that we can't do it. We can't get away with it. We're getting caught with balls over the top. We're getting caught on the counter-attack. We're getting caught with people out of position. So I'm just thinking we're going to try something next season. And if it looks like it's not going to work and we're going to get relegated, about a midway point, we'll switch it up and we'll go to tried and tested 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-4 and systems that I know that works. But I've got something in mind. I'm not going to give it away. You'll have to tune in for the next episode at the start of the season. But we're going to try and be a little bit more defensively sound is all I want to do. We cannot go another season conceding 80 goals or whatever it was. It was absolutely ridiculous. XG table, by the way, we were safe in XG as well, so it's not too bad. We were 1 point. We finished 1 place above our suggested XG. Port Vale look like they'll be struggling next year, because if they can't perform or outperform their XG again, they'll be rock bottom of the table. But yeah, I do feel like we're not. It's good that our XG also suggests we would have survived, but we just cannot have a minus 40 goal difference again. That is relegation form in terms of goals scored and goals against. We need to improve that defensive stability in the team. And you see it in real life, don't you? You do see it in real life. I think Burnley were similar to that. Southampton, for example, are sort of laid bare in that sort of terms as well, is that teams that get promoted or play a certain way and don't adapt to be a little bit more defensive or a little bit more pragmatic, they get battered. they get absolutely battered. And we can't afford to do that next season. So there is plans afoot to try and make us a little bit more defensively solid. So we'll look into that and see how it goes. Maybe just more counter-attacking rather than gegenpressing football. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And of course, it's a game. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy the game. So I'm interested to know your thoughts down below. But overall, it's a great season because we've stayed up. The finances are looking wonderful. We've got our new stadium, which is news as well, that we'll get onto in a minute. 58,422,000 in the bank. That is very, very nice. They've given us a budget of 52 million, to spend in the transfers. We've got loads of space in our wage budget, so we're sorting out contracts for our best players as well. People like Anthony Haynes, he's like 19, but he's getting a new contract because we want to make sure he's staying at the club. This Premier League money is just stupidly good for facilities. And speaking of which, if we go into the club and look at our facilities, we're at the Harbour Arm. We have requested that this gets expanded, and I think the board are going to say yes, because they haven't just come back to me within a day and said no. So I think they are going to expand our stadium. It's 13,901 at the moment, and it does have the potential to be expanded. Now, I can't remember what it was. I thought you could see here to see what the expansion capacity was, but I do think they are going to accept that, and I have put that request in. Again, if we go and look at the board profile, I've requested to do the expanding. They are planning it at the moment. We don't have an outcome just yet, and the increased youth level is going through as well. They're looking to plan that, but we don't have an outcome in terms of that. So I'm excited to see what happens in the future, because it looks like Jerome Carrick, for all of his negative and not always spending money, now that we have money in the bank, he does look like he's willing to invest it. So you can see we've got lots of stuff that I can't ask for at the moment because I've been asking for it too much, but generally they are doing a good job of investing the money, and the money is looking absolutely cracking. Projection wise, we're projected to go up to nearly £70 million. Obviously that's going to keep going up if we stay in the Premier League, which is awesome. And we've stayed up. The crux of this season was safety. We have done that. We are staying up, and I'm very, very happy about that as well. We do have a sale on clause for Martin Lukaku. 20% of his profit were made in his next transfer. Signed for 50k. We can sell it for 4.94. Chances are they're just going to release him on a free, so we'll definitely just claim that now. We've got Ollie Lewis with we've loaned out Ollie Lewis to Charlotte. They probably won't buy him for 190k. They don't normally. Jerry Kenley got poached by Bristol City from our youth academy. I couldn't do anything about that. So did Seth Shipley. And I think that was all of it, because Ryan Carson, we've now agreed that, to get Ryan Carson's an interesting one. Like, he wanted a new contract and he'd only sign it if he had a 20% sell-on clause, with nobody interested in him, and he's playing way above his level in the Premier League. Like, he's another one that's like, his physicals are great, but technically he's really not that good anymore. And he's being very quickly overtaken by John Perry-Joseph, who has just had an outstanding bit of development. He just lacks a little bit of acceleration. Again, if we go and look at John Perry-Joseph, now it's flatlined again. We changed our assistant manager, and now it's sort of flatlined for his predicted potential ability. But if you look at these all-time developments, it's just absolutely insane. Like, his potential must be huge. Free kick takings dropped down to 7, and long throws have dropped down to 9, but everything else is going up other than determination at 13. Bravery's gone up, aggression stayed the same, but even like the things that he's crapping physically are going up. He's had major improvements in physical, mental and technical abilities. A few people were saying he could be, like, he must have a really good Premier League potential. He does have potential Premier League standard, and they think at the moment he's a good League 2 player. I'm like, no way is he League 2. If he was in League 2, he'd be absolutely destroying League 2. Like, I'm very, very excited. He's only 18, £54 million as well. We do have a contract where we can extend it by 3 years. I think before we'll be extending that by 3 years, he's going to be asking for a new deal, because he's only on £1,400 a week, which is absolutely insane, isn't it? It's absolutely insane that we've got that sort of wage going. But yeah, it's been a good season. It's good. It's fine. We just need that improvement. There was something else I wanted to show. Staff wise, we're doing okay. Fitness, set pieces, and technical coaching, or tactical coaching. Sorry, we're not the best, but in everything else, we are the best. We don't have a recruitment team, so we don't need one. And medical team, we could do better, but I'm pretty happy with how we are. We've actually got 4 spaces for physios as well, so we might look to fill them in the summer. We have maxed out all of our coaches and everything that we could get. We've just gone for very, very good coaches, which is absolutely awesome. And of course, Elliot Moore is still here as our very bad director of football, but as a club legend, he's sticking around. Callum Davies is here as well. He's not doing too bad for us. Let's send him on a coaching course if we can. That would be nice. And Liam Delap, who brought through a good youth intake, is still improving. Let's get him on a coaching course as well if we can in the summer, and see if we can get him improving as well. That perfectionist personality coming through. Lovely. This is the final thing I wanted to say. It's just come back into my mind while we're looking at it. I've just got to remember how to get there. Is it squad planner, report, comparison? This is why I just wanted to show you how bad we are compared to all the other Premier League teams, right? So we are shorter than the average, although not the shortest. We have the lowest average age, that makes sense. Average weight, that sort of links to height and age. We have the lowest international caps with 0. We have the lowest international youth appearances with 1. We have the lowest average player wage. We have the sort of average player transfer value. We're not too far off that, actually. Players unavailable doesn't matter. But if we go into like all positions, leadership, we're great. We are fantastic. But we are bottom in decisions, first touch, nearly bottom of passing, strength, work rate, teamwork, and basically aggression as well. Goalkeepers wise, we're okay at kicking, reflexes and handling. We're not bottom. But aerially, command of area, 1v1, throw-ins and agility, we are bottom. Defensively, I mean, we're looking at obviously everyone here as well. If we go to defenders, we are bottom at tackling, heading, marking, positioning, we're near the bottom. Strength, pace and acceleration. We're quite alright at jumping reach. So set pieces will be our friend. Into midfield as we go. Our midfielders are they're the worst at passing, long shots, nearly the worst at vision, not too bad stamina-wise. Teamwork, we're the lowest, not too bad at tackling. Technically, we're the lowest, and decisions, we're one of the lowest as well. And then if we look at strikers in the attacking sense, finishing, we're actually not bottom, but we're not great. Long shots, we're lowest. Heading, we're lowest. Jumping reach, we're great. Love jumping reach, and I wonder how much that is covered by Christian Shuaibu, by the way. Anticipation, we're not too bad. Off the ball, we're not too bad. Pace, we're bottom. Acceleration, we're bottom. So, and then you look at the physical attributes across everybody. Jumping reach is our only outstanding attribute that we have as a squad. Mentally, we're really good leadership, bravery, aggression, composure, and positioning isn't too bad. And then technically, which it arguably technically is one of the most important things in the Premier League, right? Technical players are very, very good. You have to play to your strengths. Our strengths are not technical. And where it is, it's marking and tackling. So really we should be focusing on what our defensive strengths are, which is marking, tackling and heading and jumping reach. And that's sort of our attacking output as well. Jumping reach is our attacking output. We are absolutely dreadful, to be honest, as a squad, and how we've managed to stay up with this is just bonkers, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers. But we will leave it there. We'll be back for the start of next season to go through it. Again, safety is just our barometer. We've just got to stay up. Let's have a quick look to see who will be joining us in the Premier League from the Championship. The playoff final is Lincoln and QPR. But coming up is Wolves and Crystal Palace. So the teams that basically got relegated. Wolves, Crystal Palace are coming back up. You would imagine QPR will beat Lincoln, but you never know. We'll find out in the next episode. But yeah, we survived. All we can say is we survived. 9 wins, 7 draws and 22 losses with a goal difference of -40. We stayed up with 34 points. What a season. See you in the next one. Leave your comments down below. Leave a like if you're new. Subscribe. All that good jazz. See you in the next one. Cheers.